So you're here to learn what it's like living in Germany as an American and what our first impressions are of the country. So let's cut right to the chase. So one of the biggest things and perhaps one of the most important first impressions we've had here in Germany is the beer sizes. Now, we came from Spain where you could get a small caña size, just like a little thimble of beer. In Germany, you're gonna get a bigger beer. This is a ½ liter. If you're at a beer garden like I am today, you're generally gonna get a 0.3 liter, 0.5 liter, or a full liter of beer. I got the ½ liter, €4. I'm kind of loving these big beer sizes, especially on a hot summer day. So, Prost. So I got you here again. Like, comment, subscribe. Cheers with me, drink a beer, whatever you want to do, and keep watching while we get to our other first impressions about living here in Germany as an American. So one of our other first impressions about living in Germany is that when you ask if people speak English, sprechen Sie English, a lot of people say, I just speak a little bit of English, but they speak really well, especially compared to other countries. So that's something as non-German speakers we've really appreciated while living here. But we also want to learn German, which unfortunately is just going to take a lot of time, but it's something that we really want to do. It's a goal of ours while living here, so we can communicate more in the home language here in Germany. So one of the other big things we've noticed here in Germany is that the bike infrastructure, the bike lanes, the bike lights, everything like that is absolutely fantastic. It's a main means of transportation here in Hanover, and getting a bike is something we're gonna have to do here because it's so easy to get around. It's faster than public transportation, it's faster than walking, and it's just a fantastic way that the majority of people here get around all year round. Obviously, when it's raining here in the winter, it's probably gonna make it a little bit more difficult, but getting a bike here and being safe riding in bike lanes that are on street and off street is one of the ways that we're gonna have to get around, and it's something really cool because we didn't see it as much in Madrid, and in the US, bike lanes just aren't really the best way to do it. There we go, there are some bikers. So again, one of the big impressions we had is the fantastic bike infrastructure here in Germany. So one of our other first impressions about living in Germany as an American is recycling. It's really confusing here and honestly a lot different than anywhere in the US as well as anywhere else we've lived like Spain. It can be quite confusing and we think we've gotten the hang of it a little bit, but it's still a little bit confusing. Take a look here at the recycling sheet to see kind of just how strict and as well complicated it is. So one of the other things about recycling is that, for example, the plastic has to go in this special yellow bag. So I have one right here, it's almost full, and we can't take it out until next Tuesday. On Tuesday, we just throw it out on the street, kind of right out in front of our place, and they come and pick it up in the morning. Now, you can't just put it in any regular plastic bag, it specifically has to go in this yellow one. They're free at the grocery store, so you can just go pick them up, but sort of this specific recycling that has all these different rules seems to be something really German, and like I said, something we're getting the hang of. All right, so one of our top impressions here about being in Germany is that you have old architecture mixed with new architecture, especially here in Hanover, because a bunch of it was destroyed during the war. Actually, almost 90% of the city was destroyed during World War II. So we have new architecture, things built right after the war in the late 40s, 50s, 60s, right next to historic, super old, beautiful architecture. So the newer architecture, in our opinion, is a little bit uglier than the older stuff. So this intersection right here is a perfect example. We got some of that old, beautiful brick right next to sort of this kind of plain, ugly. Beautiful, ugly, historic, new. Old, historic, beautiful, plain, boring, and another plain, boring one there. So just something we noticed, kind of a big difference, especially just visually appealing, that we noticed being here in Germany. All right, so for our last point about what it's like living abroad as an American in Germany through our first impressions, I'm back at that first beer garden I was at talking about beer sizes way back at the beginning of this video, and this time I'm talking about meal times. So meal times in Germany are fairly consistent with meal times in the US for the most part. Sort of breakfast in the morning, lunch around 12 o'clock, dinner between, I would say, 5 and 7, 6 and 8, somewhere in there, fairly consistent. But again, we came from Spain to Germany in terms of living abroad. So compared to Spain, lunch is really early here and dinner is really early here. We're not eating lunch at 2 o'clock, 2:30, and we're not eating dinner at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So meal times are a little bit different. It's about mealtime, a little late for lunch, so I got a bratwurst here. Being from Wisconsin, what can I say? Tastes like home. So we're excited to be living abroad here in Germany. Stay tuned for our other videos about what it's like living in Germany, a bunch of our experiences traveling around, and hopefully a bunch of local experiences that we have so you can have those when you travel abroad too. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and while you're here, check out the other videos right here. There are a bunch of them that you should like about what it's like living abroad and traveling around. We'll see you over our other videos. Bye.